welcome to Fantasy and Enchantment, where I describe fantasy books to my husband and see if he is enchanted. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Justin, the husband who may or may not be enchanted. It's the latter.
Yeah, okay, thank you for that. Just so everybody's clear, we're going to start off as usual with content warning. We both swear a lot. Justin has a pretty ridiculous sense of humor. Mildly offensive to some people. I'm sure you're a little much for some people.
It's what I do.
Yeah, I know. I signed up. Also, because we're discussing books in detail, there will be spoilers. If you have not read it yet, this is not the place to be. Turn around. Go back.
You don't go here.
You don't go here. This week, we are talking about the second book in the ACOTAR series.
We are diving into this really big book. God, there's so many pages.
It's not that big. It's A Court of Mist and Fury. Sarah J. Maas, obviously.
Got a big bird on the cover.
It does. I'm trying to think where the bird comes from. Hold on.
It's just clever.
I know where the ring comes
It's
from.
just clever marketing. They just like birds.
Sure
Birds can be pretty cool. It's a cool bird. Somebody's got that tattooed on him right now, too. You know somebody's gotten that tattooed.
624 pages.
That is 524 pages too long.
So it should be 100 pages, is what you're saying.
I'm in and out.
Okay. As usual, we're going to read the book description, get your initial thoughts, and then we'll dive in.
Let's do it.
Feyre has undergone more trials than one human woman can carry in her heart. Though she has now been granted the powers and lifespan of the High Fae, she is haunted by her time under the mountain and the terrible deeds she performed to save the lives of Tamlin and his people. As her marriage to Tamlin approaches, surprise, they're engaged.
Oh, hey!
Feyre's hollowness...
Put a ring on it.
Yeah, he did.
Tied it down.
An emerald ring, if I remember correctly.
Fancy.
I didn't get an emerald.
You got a diamond. Shut up.
Okay.
You want a cheaper stone? We can do that. God damn.
She finds herself split into two different people.
Two different... God damn it.
Not literally.
Not literally.
Justin.
Okay.
Calm down.
I thought they were cutting this bitch in half and she was going to be two of her running around.
Not literally. Oh my God.
It's fantasy. They make up everything. I don't
know.
know.
A metaphor.
I don't read. They don't do metaphors on TV.
Actually, I think they do.
They've never done one on 1,000-Pound Sisters, and I watch that show all the time.
Okay. Moving on. One who upholds her bargain with Rysand, the hot guy.
Hot guy.
You, essentially.
Yeah, dark hair, big hog. That's me. That's a lie.
High Lord of the feared Night Court, and one who lives out her life in the Spring Court with Tamlin, while Feyre navigates a dark web of politics, passion, and dazzling power. A greater evil looms. She might just be the key to stopping it, but only if she can harness her harrowing gifts, heal her fractured soul, and decide how she wishes to shape her future, and the future of her world in turmoil.
It's wild in these kinds of stories that, like, all this crazy shit just happens to the same people all the time. It's never like, oh, I had a pretty wacky day, and then things just calm down and they just live it out for the rest of their lives. It is just shit on top of shit on top of shit.
Because that's a boring-ass book, Justin.
I'm just saying, it seems like a lot. People can't handle that much stuff. That's why she had to split in two. Now two of her can do it. One of them can just sit on the couch, relax, watch TV, read a silly book. The other one can go do all the nonsense.
Were you taking a shot there?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Let's dive in, kids.
We open the book on what is clearly a nightmare that Feyre is having.
Also another fucking map inside of this thing.
Yeah, they all have the same map. It's all the same map, Justin. Do you want another geography lesson?
I don't think I need another geography. Are we going to Australia yet in this one? Because there's an Australia where they kept all the prisoners, and we haven't been there yet.
I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but yes, we're going to...
Oh, crikey! Here we go, kids! Get out the kangaroos and all the animals that want to kill you. We're going to Australia.
But that doesn't happen until the very end.
Damn it! Barely gonna get any kangaroos. Maybe a wallaby.
A wallaby, okay. She's having nightmares.
Okay.
Specifically about the two fairies that she killed before she got to Tamlin, discovered his heart was made of stone. He's fine. Yay.
Because this bitch is crazy. She's killing all kinds of people. She's stabbing a guy in the chest.
She thought she had no choice. Now she feels bad about it. Because,
she might be a serial killer at this point. She offed the wolf guy and almost didn't eat him in the first one. And then she stabbed the dude in the chest and eyeballs and all kinds of stuff.
None of the eyeballs are hers. Well, there's the one on her hand, but it's not an actual eyeball. It's a tattoo. You've got some weird tattoos.
I don't have any eyeball tattoos, to be fair. There's eyeballs on some of my tattoos, but not just a straight eyeball.
No, you've got like an upside down mermaid.
I do. It's a fish lady. Human butt, fish head.
It's fucking weird.
She loves it.
God.
It's a real turn on.
Okay. Nightmares. She's having nightmares.
Nightmares, right. Back
specifically about the fairies that she had to kill. She wakes up. She's throwing up. Tamlin is sleeping away. He's got no fucks to give.
No cares whatsoever. It's like when we first had a baby, and you'd have to get up through the night and feed her, and I'd just lay there in dreamland, and sleeping away, having a great time.
About your murder.
Yeah. You were real excited about it. Yeah. Looking over at me, snoring, sleeping like through the night.
Asshole.
It was a real tough time for me, guys.
Go fuck yourself. Anyway, Tamlin's still asleep. You get the impression pretty quickly that they're both going through a lot of shit, but they're not talking about it at all. They're just kind of pretending everything's back to normal, and they're fine, and yay, we're gonna get married.
All right.
We are also introduced to this priestess, because they've got some kind of religion there.
Gross.
I know how you feel about it. Priestess name is a lot of vowels.
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna pronounce it. I thought it was Ianth, but it might be Ianthe. Anyway.
Why can't they just call people like John and Steve and Kathy?
Boring, Justin. Boring. Anyway, Ianthe is helping Feyre plan the wedding and helping her like figure out what kind of dress she's wearing.
Real extravagant affair, I'm sure.
It is going to be very extravagant. And like, what color flowers do you want? And she says, not red. She doesn't want red flowers because they remind her of like the blood dripping all over her hands after she killed those two fairies. She doesn't want it. She's all kinds of fucked up.
She's real anti-red.
Very anti-red.
You'd make a terrible communist.
Through all these interactions with Ianthe, I hate her name so much. We get the sense that like something about Ianthe is just not right. Not sure at this point what it is.
She's a member of the clergy, so she's probably diddling some kids.
Okay. She's not Catholic.
Well.
The day of the wedding comes. Yay.
Yay.
She's in this big ridiculous puffy dress.
Like bitches do.
Like, oh, I'm not gonna. Okay. I almost said it.
You almost said it. It was so close. I could see it on her lips. She was about to call her a bitch. Damn it.
Anyway, the wedding comes. There are red roses, and Feyre starts having a panic attack.
To be fair, she freaks out a lot from the sound of things. Sounds like she's having a meltdown every other goddamn day.
She's traumatized.
Well.
She was tortured and literally killed, and she had to kill people.
Sometimes you just gotta kill some people. That's part of these worlds. And now she's freaking out about it.
Yes, she is. In her head, because she's looking out at Tamlin at the end of the aisle in this big poofy dress, seeing these red roses, and she starts in her head going, oh God, I can't do this. No, someone please help. Guess who shows the fuck up?
Dude with the dark hair and the big hog?
Yes.
Yeah, there he is. Eyeball guy. Not the guy without an eyeball, the guy who put the eyeball in her hand. There's so many eyeballs.
It's Rysand. And so, fun fact, this is 3 months after the whole ordeal under the mountain.
Right.
He has not called in his bargain at all at this point.
Oh, right, because she's supposed to go see him every week. 1 week out of the month.
Yes,
1
week a month.
Custody battle. Got it.
But before this, she had not heard from him. She had no idea what was happening. She just kind of put it out. She was trying to put it out of her mind. She's like, I don't want to deal with that. That's future Feyre's problem. Guess what?
Future Feyre, it is her day.
Yep.
And he's showing up and he's like, hey, you know how I skipped those 3 months? Bitch is mine for 3 weeks.
1 week.
Well, no, because he had 3 months backed up. He saved them.
No, but that's not.
That's not how it works. You miss those weeks, you're done. You can't save them up and bank them and cash them all in later.
He very conveniently shows up right as she's freaking out about this wedding. Takes her back to the night court.
So wedding's called off.
Wedding, well, not.
We're not there.
Not sure yet.
Okay.
They go back to the night court. He's like, I want to help you learn how to read. Because remember, she can't fucking read.
Right, because she doesn't. Also, they spent a lot of money on those red roses. And now they're just going to waste.
And that big ridiculous dress.
And the big dress. Which I imagine she's still got the dress on when he takes her.
She does. And he says, you look ridiculous.
Well.
Because it's a big...
As you do when you got a big-ass dress for a wedding. Ladies, don't buy a big dress for a wedding. It's ridiculous. Also, if you're freaking out at red flowers at your wedding, you probably shouldn't be getting married anyway. You need to calm the fuck down.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of issues here.
Yeah.
Yes. They also talk about Feyre training to, like, develop her mental shields, because Rysand can read minds, so he's like, I want you to get better at this so that I can't read your mind all the time.
He's like, I am tired of hearing all the crazy shit that's going on in your head.
Basically.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Basically. That is pretty much what happens. So he starts helping her learn how to read. She's got to build up her mental shield. He's
got a lot to do in a week because he's only got a week.
Yes, but he basically leaves her alone for that week, though. So
he doesn't teach her
expecting her to like torture her, but he doesn't. He just says, "Read this and copy this down and focus on your shield all day. I'll be back later," and that's it. So all in all, not a bad way to spend a week.
It's a nice little vacation.
Fleeing from the wedding that you maybe.
She's a runaway bride.
She is a runaway bride.
Is that Julia Roberts? Who did Runaway Bride?
I think it was
Sandra
Julia
Bullock. I don't know. They look the same.
Okay. We're not going to go there. But he also tells her at the end of the week that the reason he wants her to learn how to read and to train, because she's noticed that she's got some of these powers from the other courts, because all the High Lords gave her part of their power.
How many High Lords were there?
I think there's... I can count the courts.
Oh, there is a number.
Yes, there's a definitive
I didn't know that it was like just a handful.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah.
Does that count Australia?
No,
Because
that's
Australia doesn't have one?
It's not a court. Not in the same way that these are courts, at least. So it doesn't count.
Right.
So she's got powers from all 7 of the High Lords. But she's not doing anything about it. She's kind of just willing it away.
She doesn't know how to use it.
Tamlin doesn't want her to train because he doesn't want her to attract too much attention.
She's not in the X-Men. She doesn't need to know how to use all these powers.
According to Tamlin, yes.
Got it.
But Rysand says, you need to get a handle on these because there is a war coming. I think someone's going to try to take down the wall separating Fairyland from Mortaland, and your family will be in danger.
Build the wall. No?
No, it's the opposite.
Take down the wall.
Take down the wall.
Okay.
And he's basically trying to talk her into, like, you could make a difference if and when this war happens. So, takes her back to Tamlin. Tamlin's all like, I hate you, Rysand. Get out of my house.
He's real possessive over his not yet wife because she ran away during the wedding. Did he just stand there and he was like, well, shit, I guess I'm just going to have to deal with her being gone for a week.
It's a fairy bargain. You can't really break it, so.
He's just like, oh, he tricked me. Good one. Good on you. Good on you, guy with the dark hair and the big piece. You just take my wife for a little while. I'll get her later. We'll tie her down one of these days. Okay.
So she comes back. I feel like I might have... Nope, I did not mix up my notes. Okay. She comes back. They don't talk about the wedding. They don't mention it anymore.
He was like, well, that didn't happen. We're done.
We'll worry about that later.
Burn that bridge when we get there.
Future favorites problem again.
It's probably going to end in divorce anyway.
Well,
and what is it, like 60% of marriages end in divorce? It's probably not going to take.
Well, and Favorite does sometimes think about how she hasn't felt this mythical mating bond snap into place. Because fairies, if they meet like their soulmate, there's a mating bond that happens that they can both feel, and that's what signifies like this is your person. This is who you're supposed to be with.
In the meantime, they're just doing it a bunch, but it's not actually like her heart's not in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then they have to do this thing for the spring court called the tithe, where the fairies of the court give Tamlin a percentage of their income, harvest, whatever.
Yeah, that seems
in
fair.
Exchange for him being their High Lord.
That seems fair.
You get stuff for existing.
It's taxes. They're all paying their taxes, and he's just soaking it up.
It's
typical government.
It's basically how the monarchy works. Like,
yeah.
Congratulations, thank you for paying me to exist.
Also, quit diddling those kids. The monarchy.
That was just some one guy.
Yeah, well, isn't he the king now?
No, that was like
That's
his younger brother. Yeah.
Oh, I can't keep it straight.
And he's going to be dead soon anyway.
Those Brits can't get their shit together. Isn't it?
Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay. The tide happened. There's a specific kind of fairy creature called a water wraith. They live in like lakes and ponds and shit.
I kind of got that from the water.
I'm not sure what you know, Justin.
Hey, it's water.
It's water. Yes. That's lives in the water. Go. And she says, we don't have enough fish to give you. If I give you all our fish, me and my sisters are going to starve. And Feyre is sitting next to Tamlin. And she's like, don't make her give us this. We don't need it. What are we going to do with all this fish anyway? And
I don't even like fish sticks. They're terrible.
Fact, I don't actually like fish.
I actually love fish sticks.
So.
They're delightful. Lots of ketchup.
I know how you feel about the ketchup. So the Wraith has to give, Tamlin is standing on ceremony. He's like, this is the way it's always been done, so she has to give me this. Feyre gets mad, walks off, runs into the water Wraith, and she's wearing all this fancy-ass jewelry that Tamlin gave her. And she starts just pulling it off and giving it to the water Wraith. And she's like, please, I don't need this. Take this to buy your sisters some food. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's my phone.
So the water Wraith is like really thankful, and she's like, thank you, me and my sisters will not forget about this. That's going to come back later. Tamlin and Feyre get into an argument about the water Wraith because Tamlin finds out that she gave the water Wraith all of her jewelry.
He spent a lot of money on that jewelry.
I think he inherited that jewelry. You didn't do shit, Tamlin.
Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds like he inherits pretty much everything. He makes everybody just give him their shit.
Yes.
So...
essentially. So, he's mad. She gave away the jewelry. She's mad because, like, Tamlin has never starved a day in his life, but she grew up basically on the verge of starvation all the time. So, she felt a lot of sympathy.
She's from the wrong side of the tracks.
She's from the wrong side of the tracks. She's like, I'm not going to watch someone starve if I can do something to stop it. You have no idea what that's like. They get in a big fight. Basically, like, she snaps, the whole room blows up, but there's kind of like a force field around her, so she's fine. Unclear at the time whether it was... No, so I think Tamlin blew the room up. Like, he got really mad.
Like you do when you get angry, you just blow shit up.
Like, yeah. But she created the force field, so she's fine. He apologizes. They have, I think, make-up sex, and it's like... But that doesn't seem like...
Again, like they do.
Make-up.
Why is everybody just fucking in this book all the time?
Very smart.
Do they go real in depth with the sex, or is it just like, they copulated? Or is it like full-blown descriptions of penetration and stuff?
It varies. Some of it is he tore my clothes off, we fell into bed. Some of it is like, he put this there and over there.
Is this supposed to be like fantasy erotica, where you're like in the bath and exploring a little bit while you're reading this?
Not so much this one.
Not this one, okay.
The fifth book gets way more detailed. But
real graphic.
I would say like 2/3, maybe not 2/3. A good chunk of it is just straight up porn.
It's porn.
Yes. Anyway, Rhysand comes to collect on his bargain again.
He's back.
Tamlin is, again, real mad about it, but there's nothing he can do. And he just says, like, bring her back in one piece. They go back to the Night Court.
How pissed is he that his sort of wife made this deal, and every 3 weeks he's like, God damn it, this guy's back again.
Pretty pissed. Like, they actually had I think there's a scene in the first book where they talk about it, and she's like, I didn't have any other choice. No one else was coming for me. I was going to die. Which, fair enough.
Yeah, that's got to stick
She would have died.
That's got to stick in your craw a little bit, though.
Because, like, massive infection. She would have died. She had to, like, cover herself in shit in order for the worm not to smell her. So as soon as she got caught, it was like, oh, you're going to die.
Poop.
Lots of poop.
Lots of poop. You skipped the poop in the last review.
I could
have done with a little bit of poop talk.
I'm trying to, like, hit all the points without being, like, super detailed because I don't want to be here forever.
Going forward, let's make sure we hit on the poop whenever there's poop.
Okay.
I love a good fart joke.
Justin.
I missed my opportunity.
Okay. Noted.
Silent but deadly.
Okay. They're back at the Night Court. Rhysand says, have you decided whether or not you're going to work for me, help me with this war? And she says, I'm still thinking about it. And he also makes a note to say, like, you don't look good. I don't feel anything through the bond. Like, are you okay? I know you're having nightmares. Well, she basically says it's none of your business. So she's severely depressed, traumatized. Tamlin is being a dick. Nothing's going well for her.
Life sucks.
So after a very boring week where she learns to read some more, to the point where she's reading entire books.
She picked that up quick, to be fair.
Well, some of us can pick it up pretty quick, Justin.
Well, I'm not saying I can't read. I choose not to read. Let's not confuse these people and make them think that I'm a dum-dum who doesn't know how words work. Top to bottom, left to right. For headaches, take Tylenol.
Okay. But then she goes back to the Spring Court with Tamlin, and there's some arguing between the two of them because Tamlin was basically keeping her guarded inside the house. She said, I'm drowning. I can't live like this. You have to let me leave. Because she doesn't like being confined at this point. She just wants, like, open windows.
Gotta spread her wings a little bit.
Yes. But then she comes back from the second visit with Rhysand, and he basically doubles the guard. He's like, you can't leave the house. I won't risk our enemies getting their hands on you. Oh, and she's like, what enemies? You won't tell me anything. What's happening? She says, I can fight, please. He basically says she says there will always be some threat. There will always be some conflict or enemy or something that keeps me in here. You can barely sleep through the night, he said. I said, neither can you. You promised. My voice cracked. I need to get out of this house. Have Bron and Ianthe, the priestess, take you on a ride. I don't want to go for a ride. I don't want to go for a ride or a picnic or pick wildflowers. I want to do something.
Is she a toddler? Because this sounds like our 4-year-old.
Well,
I don't want to go for a ride. I want to go somewhere. I want to go play on my slide. I want to play with the flowers. I want to do this. I want to watch TV.
He's basically locked her in the house. Give her a break. She wants to feel useful, and he's keeping her locked up in the house, not telling her anything about what's going on. And that's the thing about depression, is that sometimes when you're real deep in it, what helps is to do things.
I don't like doing things.
I know. So Tamlin leaves, and then as he's leaving, she tries to follow him, hits this barrier. He's essentially magically barricaded the house, so she cannot leave the house. And it triggers a panic attack.
Again. Meltdown again.
And she loses it. He shielded the entire house around you. Others can go in and out, but you can't. Not until he lifts the shield. He locked me in here. Lucien says, I'll try to talk to him. I'll make this better.
Lucien the Pirate, I feel like he hasn't been around a whole lot in this book.
I mean, he's been there, but he's also just not,
He's just swashbuckling in the background?
Sure. We'll go with that.
Got a parrot on his shoulder.
I was trapped inside this house. I might as well have been under the mountain. I might as well have been inside that cell again. He trapped me in here. He locked me up. I stopped seeing the floor or the paintings on the walls or the staircase. I stopped hearing the sound of birds, and then crushing black pounded down and rose up from beneath, devouring and roaring and shredding. So essentially she's just a full-blown panic attack. She can't see anything. I had to get out because I barely escaped from another prison once. And this time, someone was shouting my name from far away. Slender, strong hands gripped me under the shoulder. So Rysand has this, he calls her his cousin. His name is Morrigan, Moore for short. Feyre has met her at this point. Feyre loses her shit so much, she breaks down the shield. Morrigan comes in, rescues her, takes her to Rysand, who says, we gotta be really careful. We don't want to accidentally start a war with Tamlin and the Spring Court. They take her away to the Night Court. Rysand has come to rescue her.
So now she's on the run.
Now she's on the run.
From her not husband.
Correct.
Got it.
All thanks to Rysand. Good job, Rysand.
Dark hair, big piece.
Okay. And he takes her to see this city called Valeris, which is their magical city in the Night Court. It's very fancy. Everything's very fancy. She meets the rest of his friends. Cassian, who's another guy. He's got big wings, big bat wings.
Okay.
Asriel also has bat wings, but also really scarred hands. And his nickname is Shadow Singer because he's got shadows that talk to him.
They got all these stupid names and all this dumb shit. But the best they could come up with in the last book was Under the Mountain. You couldn't have named that, but you're going to name all this other weird shit. Bat wings, melty hands, dude with one eye, pirate people. Under the Mountain was the best you got.
I got one that's even worse for you.
Shit, here we go.
Her dad, Feyre's dad, doesn't have a name in the book.
What? Wasn't he? He was in the first book for a bit.
Yes. And he will be in the third book.
He's coming back.
But he does not have a name.
I gotta say, I was kind of wondering what the hell happened to her family that she was so broken up about in the first book, and in this one she's just like, fuck him.
Her dad does not have a name. Nothing.
We're gonna name him when the time comes. Probably something fucking stupid.
Yeah. Cassian, Asriel, Scarred Hands, Shadow Singer. Amren, who's described as a short Asian woman who's really powerful, but in some really ancient way. She's over 5,000 years old.
Do they describe her as Asian?
I don't remember. I don't think she says Asian, but you get the impression that she's got Asian features.
Slanty eye.
Yes. And then Morrigan, who's blonde, incredibly beautiful. They're all fucking beautiful.
So it's a real diverse cast going on here. We really hit all the DEI points. Got it.
Yes, and she gets introduced to them. They call themselves Rysand's Inner Circle.
Are any of them black?
Not yet.
Okay.
There will be a black character.
Okay. We gotta check all the boxes.
Okay.
We're gonna need a black fantasy guy. Or girl. I guess it could be a girl.
Feyre says, I'm not ready to go back there. Please, I'll stay here. I'll help you.
Look at you. You're all pretty. I want to stay here.
I want to stay here and do hot stuff with you.
Yeah, let's prance around in fields and pick flowers and do hot stuff.
Let's go talk to the bone carver.
Bone carver. Bone carver. Sounds like a horror movie that I would probably want to watch.
Yeah, so bone carver is some kind of like ancient monster being.
Also, could be a sex position. I'm going to give her the old bone carver.
If you can explain to me the mechanics of how that could be a sex position.
I'll show you later.
All right. Okay, I opened that door myself. I shouldn't have said anything.
I'm going to close it.
Ancient monster being who presents himself differently to everybody who sees him.
It's quite a trick.
Yes, it's magic. Yay.
Magic. It's all magic.
It's all.
Yeah.
Don't roll your eyes. Her and Rysand go to see the bone carver. Feyre sees him as like a little boy with dark hair and blue eyes.
That is not a bone carver look.
No.
Nothing intimidating.
But he does say some creepy shit about how he can't wait to lick her bones clean after she dies.
As you would if you called yourself bone carver.
Yes. And then he gives them information about like the king of Hybern is looking to Hybern, Australia.
Australia, all right.
The king of Australia is trying to find this magical book so that he can bring Jurian back to life.
Crocky, magic book.
Jurian was in the war 500 years ago. He was a human. Amarantha killed him. Her bone finger necklace, the eyeball.
Oh, right. That all comes back.
That comes back. Those were Jurian's various body parts.
Okay. So he's collecting body parts?
Yes. Well, he's collecting Amarantha's already collected body parts.
Okay.
And like using that to rebuild him, bring him back to life. And they're like, well, that's not good. And then he also says they're trying to find the cauldron, which is this magical thing that their religion is based on.
It's a big pot.
It's a big pot. Everything came from the cauldron.
Religion's nonsense.
Well.
Also, does the bone carver, in your mind, when you read his words, when he's talking, does he sound like Macho Man Randy Savage? Because to me, anybody called the bone carver, oh yeah, I'm the bone carver. It's the cream of the crop.
No, Justin, that is not actually how I imagine that.
It is now. It is now.
For ruining it for me.
Thanks, Macho Man.
Jurian, the cauldron. The book is called the Book of Breathings. It's split into 2 pieces. So they gotta find the pieces, put them back together. And then later, Feyre is like, "That's why you wanted me to learn how to read, so that I can read this book." Because since Feyre was made and not born Fae, she's got some magical connection with this book that was also made.
Okay.
There's lots of air quotes going on.
Somebody had to write this book.
And Rysand essentially says, "I'm going to give you a test to see if you can sense other things that have been quote unquote made."
Okay.
He takes her to the middle of the woods in this other place, not the night court. He says, "There's a person there. Don't let her see you. Don't let her hear you. Don't let her know that you're trying to get this ring."
That's the ring on the book?
That's the ring on the book.
Not the bird. We don't know what the bird is, but...
I don't remember it. It'll come back to me later.
Right.
Maybe.
Is the bird from Australia? Maybe?
I don't think so.
All right.
Okay.
Australia's common. God, it should have been a kangaroo on the cover of the book.
I'm not even going to justify that with a response. They go to the cottage. There's a little cottage, thatched roof, the whole 9 yards. Feyre, like, very carefully opens the door, and there's, like, an old woman who's, like, stringing a harp and singing this creepy song to herself.
Old people are a menace.
Well, this one especially. Her cottage is filled with a bunch of shit. She senses the ring. She finds it. She pulls it off the shelf, and then the door slams shut behind her. This woman, who's called the Weaver, is like, "I know you're there. I know you're trying to take something from me." She claws her way out of the chimney because she can't get through the door. Nearly has a panic attack in the process.
Of course she does. This bitch is panicking all the time.
She notices that the inside of the chimney is covered with all this, like, waxy, gross stuff. And then she goes, "Oh, no." Like, in her mind, she's like, "This is human fat." She's eating people.
Cool.
The thatched roof, it's thatched with human hair.
Awesome.
She weaves from people parts.
So, the eating people returns in book 2 here. We're back to eating people.
I'm not doing it.
This bitch is eating. Oh, these old people eating people. I like it.
The one old person.
The one old person eating people. Cooking them up real good. Barbecue sauce, the whole 9 yards, ketchup, everything.
Not mentioned, no.
Not mentioned. Okay. I imagine there's condiment.
When they get back to the night court, Amren does say, like, "You smell like barbecue." And then Feyre throws up everywhere. Because she's got people all over her.
What you gonna do?
Throw up, apparently.
When in Rome, covered in people.
And then she takes bath. She gets real mad at Rysand because she's like, why did I have to do this? That was so gross. She could have killed me. She was going to eat me.
She's a cannibal.
What about this ring is so important? And Rysand just goes, it was my mother's ring.
He goes, no connection to that ring whatsoever. Just thought it'd be cool to have.
He just says it's his mother's ring, and it means a lot to him. We'll come back to that. Man, there's a lot of tiebacks to this story. Yeah. While she's there in the Night Court, she discovers that Ianthe and Rysand have a history. She got the vibe from Lucian that Lucian didn't like Ianthe. Ianthe, I don't know which one it is, to be clear. So Rysand was like, I can show you if you want. So because she has Rysand's power as well, she can go into Rysand's mind if he lets her. And she sees this memory of Ianthe basically trying to rape him.
She's a real forceful broad, this one, huh?
Yeah, so she likes sleeping with high-powered men to, like, gain power for herself, possibly to get pregnant, because then, like, her child will have a lot of status. It's real creepy shit. And Feyre is like, oh, I got some weird vibes from her. That explains why Lucian didn't like her. Did she try to do something to Lucian? Like, she's immediately, like, connecting the dots. Now we know why Ianthe is garbage. So Feyre decides to write a letter to Tamlin at that point. She's like, it's official. I'm not going back.
Got it.
He locked me out.
She's full-blown runaway.
We clearly are not meant to be together. And she says, like, don't come looking for me. I'm safe. I'm taken care of.
I'm done with you. Breakup. Full-blown breakup letter.
Yeah, it's a breakup letter.
Yeah.
She starts training with Rysand and Cassian and Azriel on a regular basis, like, both physical training and also, like, Rysand is helping her do, like, her power shit, because she can do all kinds of stuff. She can make fire, and she can make water. And
She's
she can
all
make
the X-Men.
She might even be able to shapeshift like Tamlin. She is all the X-Men, yes. And then they find out that one part of the book is in the Summer Court. So they go to the Summer Court, and they make friends with this guy, the High Lord of the Summer Court, whose name is Tarquin.
Another stupid fucking name.
He black.
Oh, we got a black guy. We got our token brother fairy. I like it.
They're in the Summer Court for a couple days. Feyre figures out they're hiding their part of the book in, like, this weird shack that's kind of in the water. You can only see it when it's at low tide because it's on the coast. So her and Amren sneak in. They get the book, the half of the book, and then shit gets crazy. The whole building locks down, starts flooding with water.
Well, yeah, because they went and made friends with the black guy, and then they're like, let's steal from him.
Yeah, and I mean, and like, the magic knows that they're not supposed to be taking this thing.
Yeah, little unethical.
Well, like, they had their reasons, but yes.
They could have just asked for it.
I don't remember why Rysand said that they didn't ask for it, but he had a reason.
Because they're assholes.
Well, a little bit. And then, but, like, right as Feyre and Amren are both like, oh shit, we're gonna die, they're drowning, like, they come to on the shore, and there are 3 water wraiths standing above them, and they say, like, our debt to you has been paid.
Oh, right, because of the fishes and the jewelry and the shit from earlier.
Yes.
Got it.
So that has come full circle.
Full circle. We finished one of these off.
They go back to the Night Court. We learn that Rysand also has nightmares about Under the Mountain because he was sleeping.
They were all real broke up about this shit that happened under the mountain.
He spent 50 years under there with Amarantha. He started fucking her in order to earn her trust.
As one does.
Well, because that was her thing. She liked using sex for power. So he's like, if I start sleeping with her, like, she won't suspect me of not really being on her side.
Right.
So it's like fake boyfriend stuff. So people frequently call him Amarantha's whore. He knows how people see him. He still has nightmares about, like, the shit she made him do, the shit.
She was into some freaky shit.
Well, she also, because of his mind power stuff, like, had him torture people and, like,
probably some backdoor action. Just
sure.
It got weird.
Yeah,
it got weird.
Let's pretend that's what he was having nightmares about, is backdoor action.
Yeah,
Justin.
a couple fingers in the back door that he wasn't prepared for.
Okay.
A couple knuckles deep.
They discover, well, first of all, the nightmares, Feyre wakes him up, sees that he's got a bunch of tattoos, not unlike yourself, including, like, these 2 on his kneecaps that are, like, mountain ranges.
Also, weird place to get tattooed. Don't do that.
They're magical tattoos. It'll be fine. Anyway, he's got a bunch of tattoos. Also, apparently, a thing I'm into, so.
Yep, that's true.
You're welcome.
Guilty.
The second book of breathing, the second half of the book of breathings belongs to the mortal queens, and it can only be given freely. So they can't steal that one.
Can't steal that
They
one.
have to ask for it. There are 3 mortal queens. They organize this meeting at Feyre's family's house. Their dad, not there.
Not
He's
there.
off doing merchant stuff again.
Unnamed dad. He's
Unnamed
back out
dad.
doing shit now.
Still don't have a name, though.
He's slinging his wares out there.
So they write a letter to the queens asking them for help to come talk to them at least.
How do they send the letter? Is there a post office? Is it a pigeon?
No, they mentioned going to like a post office.
There's a post office in the fantasy world.
Yeah.
Somebody's job is to work at the post
I imagine
office.
like it's like an olden days kind of thing. So when
Like a horse and buggy, they ride it out there.
yeah,
deliver it by
basically.
hand.
Yeah.
It's crazy that there's a post office.
So they go
got
back.
mailboxes?
I don't know. I never saw a mailbox mentioned. Also, it's getting real dark in here.
It is getting dark. It's going to rain soon, so we're going to have to wrap this up right quick because it looks pretty ugly outside, and we could run the risk of losing power, in which case we would lose this whole episode, and I'm not doing this again.
But while they're waiting for the queens to send a response, Feyre and Rysand decide to do some more training. And who shows up? It's Lucien.
Lucien the pirate! Swashbuckling! He heard you were doing some training. He came here on his pirate ship.
Lucien is basically like, come back with me. Tamlin is really sorry. He really misses you. And she's like, I sent him a letter not to come looking for me.
Put it in the
what
post
are you
office.
doing here? Yes, put it in the post office. Was it delayed in the mail? We
That
don't
might
know.
be it. That might have got lost in the mail.
We need to get out of here. He hasn't been himself. She says, no, let's go home. That stopped being my home the day you let him lock me up inside of it. It was a mistake. We all made mistakes. He's sorry. More sorry than you realize. So am I. And she says, don't touch me. And they have this small fight where basically she makes it very clear that she's got a handle on her abilities now. And she's maybe not with Rysand, but like she's Team Rysand at this point. She's working with the Night Court. She doesn't want anything to do with Tamlin.
She's full X-Men now. She doesn't want to play their games.
Yes. Lucien eventually leaves. Rysand is all proud of her. He's like, oh, look, I'm glad you stood up for yourself.
You did a thing.
They decide to stay at this inn. I don't know if you know what a trope is.
I mean, kind of.
So, a common thing that happens.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm not great with definitions, but I've heard the word.
There's one bed at the inn.
One bed at the inn. Well, what does that mean?
So, her and Rysand have to share this bed.
One of them could have slept on the floor, to be fair.
It's a very small room.
Yeah, sure it is. Sure it is. Oh no, we just have to share this bed. Oh no, I don't sleep with underpants. Oh no, your dick's rubbing against my butt cheeks.
Yeah, that's exactly how that happens. And then there's some finger blasting that happens.
Finger blasting. Got to start off somewhere.
And then the next day, well, Feyre feels all guilty about it because she was like, I was just fucking Tamlin like, a few weeks ago, and now I'm letting this guy put his junk all over me. She feels bad about it.
Wait, does he just finger her? Does she reciprocate at all?
I think she just fingers him, and he's like, no, I just want to take care of you right now.
That's wait, she fingered him? Or did she give him a little handy?
No, he fingered her.
Yeah.
And then that was it.
That was it.
He said, no, don't worry about it. I'm fine.
That's not a real dude.
Okay. So Rysand's got these wings that appear. I don't know if I ever mentioned it.
No, that's news to me. Dude's got wings.
So Cassian and Asriel are what's called Illyrian. They're a special species of Fae. Rysand is half Illyrian. So his dad was High Fae. His mom was Illyrian, so he's got wings, but he can make his wings kind of come and go.
Got it.
They're flying back to the Night Court with his wings, and ash arrows come flying at him from all directions.
What does?
Ash arrows, remember?
Oh, right. The arrows that, yeah.
Killed the wolf.
Yep.
Dangerous to fairies.
Dangerous.
They go down. Feyre gets flung like really far away from him. She finds him eventually, starts pulling arrows out of him.
He's a pincushion.
He's a pincushion. They find like a cave because like Rysand's all fucked up. He can't really do anything. He's got all these injuries that have to heal. And then Feyre has a thought like, I wonder if the Suriel would know how to fix him. The fucking Suriel again.
Yeah, we're back to that.
She finds him again, and he says, mix this thing with your blood. And then he makes a comment about, I wrote down the thing. Let me find the page. If you wish to speed your mate's healing, in addition to your blood,
there's gonna be fucking
weed sprouts by the river. Make him chew it. I fired my arrow at the snare before I finished hearing the words. The trap sprang free, and the word clicked through me. Mate. What did you say? You did not know then. The High Lord of the Night Court is your mate. So their fated, mating bond thing. Rysand has that with her.
But I thought they were supposed to feel that, so she just didn't feel it?
She has not felt it up to this point.
Got it.
So she goes back, she finds a flower, she goes back to Rysand. She basically throws it at him because this whole time she's like, I can't believe you knew and you didn't say anything. This super important, special thing, and you never told me.
So she's all bent out of shape. And he's almost dead.
Yeah, because the arrows were also poisoned.
Oh, so. Well, I mean, did they need to be poisoned? Because they were the ash, which can kill him anyway.
Well, but he's the most powerful High Lord, so...
Okay, it just seems like a bit of overkill. Also, who shot the arrows? Do we know who shot the arrows?
Hybern people. Australia people.
The Australians.
Yes.
Crocky!
I love that I'm calling them the Australians now. Fuck's sake. And she brings him the flower. He's starting to feel a little bit better. And she goes, how long have you known that I'm your mate? And he's like, oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
Who told you?
Well, then he goes, how did you find the cereal? And she goes, you don't get to ask questions. How long have you known? Does anybody else know?
Everybody knows. She's the last to know.
Morrigan knows. Amren, Cassian, and Azriel suspect. She makes Rysand, who's kind of sort of healed at this point, take them back to the Night Court. She finds Morrigan and she's like, take me somewhere where he can't find me. I don't want to talk to him right now. Takes her to this other house. She starts painting all over the place because that's what you do when you're in a stranger's house. You just start painting all over it. And she keeps thinking about it and thinking about it. And then,
it turns out she's just painting dicks on the wall everywhere.
I wish she would have. That would have been funny as hell. And she eventually, after like a week, Rysand finds her. He's like, I checked every house. I knew there were only so many places Morrigan would have taken.
Wait a minute. He can like feel her and shit, and like he's got like a telepathic thing, but he couldn't figure out what house she was in?
Yes.
God damn it, these books.
Yeah, I know.
Plot hole!
That's gonna happen again, don't worry. And then she asked Rysand to explain from the beginning, like, what happened, how he knows, whatever. So he goes into this, like, it's a whole chapter of him just explaining how he knows that she is his mate. A couple years before all of this, he started having weird fuzzy dreams of, like, rabbits and a hay bale occasionally and stuff like that. And then one day he saw someone, like a female hand, and it was painting something. But he's fucking Amarantha on the regular at this point, too. So he's just like, maybe this is just a little thing, a little gift from the cauldron to help me get through it. And then he has another dream of, like, one of her dreams while she's in the fairylands. And she's like, this person, he realizes this person is officially in this fairyland.
Even though at the time she's human.
She's human, but she's in the fairyland. And he's got these psychic powers, remember? And that is the night of Kalanmai. So he goes out just to sate his own curiosity. And that's when he finds her with the 3 fairies who were maybe going to rape her.
Got it.
And that's when he says, I've been looking for you. So he meant that
he
literally.
He knew right out of the gate.
He meant that literally. And he's like, he literally meant, I've been looking for you for a long time now. Didn't say that, but he meant it. And then the whole thing under the mountain happened. Feyre dies. She gets her neck broken and she fucking dies. Rysand convinces the other High Lords to help bring her back to life. And then... Because
otherwise he's a widow. Because you only get one match, right? And if she gets offed, he's flying solo forever.
Yes.
Got it.
And then that whole thing happens. The thing on the balcony happens where, like, Rysand freaked out and, like, ran away.
Because he knew that she was dead. She was fucking the other guy.
No, because he realized at that second that Feyre was his mate. That's when he felt the bond officially.
Okay. That's when he felt it. Okay. But he knew that it was going to be her. He just hadn't felt it yet?
He had suspected up to that point.
Okay.
But, like, that was the first time that it, like, fully clicked into place for him. So that's why he freaked out, ran away. He stumbled into Morrigan and said, she's my mate. She hates me. So that's why Morrigan knows.
Got it.
And then after that, there's a whole chapter of them fucking a bunch.
Of course there is.
So she's officially...
It's real graphic, I presume.
I mean, I've read much more graphic.
Well, yeah, but you read a bunch of this smut, so I mean that goes without saying. This is just porn without the pictures.
There's a lot of shit we've covered a whole lot of notes. We're almost at the end.
Yeah, it's just a lot of porn.
Anyway, the city of Valeris gets attacked. Wait, did I skip? Oh, I skipped a part. They see the queens. The queens ask for proof of, like, Rysand's good intentions. So he brings in this thing to show them the city of Valeris, which is this magical haven that he kept safe the whole time. He was under the mountain with Amarantha. He says, this is what we're trying to protect. Queens say, well, think about it. And then they leave. But one of the queens kind of, I can't think of the right word. She covertly drops the other half of the book. So they have the other half of the book. They have it. But then they're in the Night Court again, and the whole thing gets attacked. The Australia broke through their force field, whatever.
With their kangaroos and their crocodiles. Christ.
And they're attacking. And that's like, they fend them all off, they get the shields back in place, and they're like, we gotta take this to Hybern as soon as possible. Let's end this shit. So they go to Australia. Severe thunderstorm warning.
Yay!
That's why it's so fucking dark now.
Yep.
They go to Hybern. The king of Hybern also does not have a name. He's just the king of Hybern.
Just the king. King of Australia. Steve Irwin. It's Steve Irwin, guys.
He's dead.
Well, I mean, it's fantasy. He can come back and be the king of Australia.
Steve Irwin is not the bad guy in the book.
Okay, so the king of Australia is the bad guy.
He is a very bad guy.
Okay,
yes.
Steve Irwin was a national treasure, so
Yes.
he's not a bad guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know any other Australians, so.
Moving on. They're in Hybern. They like break in. They think they're being sneaky, and all of a sudden, I think they run into the king of Hybern first, and then Tamlin and Lucian come out. And they've been working with Hybern because they made a deal that like Hybern would help Tamlin get Feyre back.
Because Lucian's a pirate.
And because Tamlin is an asshole who like sees Feyre as his property somehow, is not taking her own thoughts and feelings into consideration at all. Probably not a person you want to marry.
Probably not.
So they're trapped there. The Mortal Queen, 2 of the Mortal Queens come out because they've also been working with Hybern. And then Elaine and Nesta get dragged out, Feyre's sisters. So Feyre's officially freaking out. Hybern found the cauldron. He puts, I think it's Elaine in the cauldron first. Elaine comes out a fairy. Lucian says, "Oh shit, you're my mate." And everybody's like, what the fuck just happened? And then they shove Nesta into it. And Nesta's flipping people off as she goes in.
Like you do.
Yeah, like you do. Comes out, she's also a fairy. They're both like wet and angry and not well. And then Feyre remembers that she's got this power from one of the High Lords, this curse-breaking power. She's like, if I try hard enough, I can break through this barrier that's keeping us here, and then they can go, and I'll stay and keep them distracted so they can get far enough away to get to safety. So she's like mentally yelling at Rysand, like, I'm sorry, keep them safe. Please tell me you're listening. Please tell me you can hear me. She asks the King of Hybern to break her bargain, her weird eye tattoo.
Oh, okay.
He breaks it. Feyre pretends that Rysand has had her in this like weird brainwashing state for this whole fucking time. She just didn't realize what she was doing. She runs up to Tamlin. She's like, take me home, I love you. The other people, they take Elaine and Nesta. They get the fuck out of there. Tamlin, Lucian, and Feyre go back to the Spring Court.
Wouldn't Lucian want to bring the sister with him because...
Yeah, but Rysand and Cassian and Azriel got her out first.
Got it.
So, because that's one of the things Feyre was like mentally yelling at Rysand. Keep my sister safe. Take them with you.
Well, I don't want her to be a pirate. Or a wench, I guess, as it would be.
Yes, I guess. Anyway, they do that. They get out. Then we have a chapter from Rysand's point of view where he like says that the night before all this shit happened, he and Feyre met with a priestess. They are married. She has the ring that was his mother's ring.
Secret marriage.
Secret marriage. And they made her High Lady of the Night Court. So not only is she Rysand's wife, she is his political equal. And
she's the queen.
She's basically the queen of the Night Court.
Got it.
So she's got a lot of power in her own right. And she's playing espionage in the Spring Court because she at one point said to Tamlin, if you take me from him, I will destroy the Spring Court from the inside out. So that's what she's going to do. She's going to fuck shit up.
Got it.
And that's the end of the book.
That's the end of the book. We're done.
God
damn it, that's a long book.
There's a lot that happens in that one. Congratulations, you survived.
Oh, I'm through 2 of these books. God, there's still, 3 more?
Yes.
Fuck me. This is a long series. I'm not watching this show when it comes out because this is all over the place and it's a lot. And this is going to have so many episodes that I'm just not prepared for.
Yep.
Yeah, too much.
So what do you think I rated it?
Ooh. So there's a lot more that happens in this one. Mm-hmm. You rated the last one a 4. Did you give this one a 5? You said you don't do a lot of 5s, but I'm going to think that maybe you liked this one more because more shit goes on.
It was still a 4.
It's still a 4?
Like 5 is like pinnacle for me.
Again, this is why it should be out of 10 because the last one I felt like you would have probably given it like a 7, and then this one you probably would have given it an 8.
That's fair.
See? It should be out of 10.
Anyway.
Your ranking system's flawed.
You're flawed.
Your butt's flawed.
Get out of here.
All right. We're done. It's going to rain. It's real dark out. Bye, people. See you next time. Oh, wait. She's still doing the thing. Do the thing.
Follow us on Facebook and TikTok. Leave suggestions, questions, comments. Tell me you think Justin is obnoxious. You are correct.
Fucking right.
Ratings, reviews, all of that. We will see you next time.
Bye.